Trump just posted that Charlie Kirk is dead.
Trump just posted that Charlie Kirk is dead.
All right, so this is 3 to 4, 3 we get from cut in a second.
Charlie Kirk is dead. He got at an event that he was hosting in Utah. And I am sad, distraught. In fact, I just cried on my live stream in front of 250,000 people.
Release photos of a man that they believe is the suspect. The police say that they do have good video footage of this suspect, and they believe that he is somebody that could potentially be a college student because they say he blended in very well.
Trump just posted that Charlie Kirk is dead. Charlie Kirk's death has shocked everyone. But perhaps even more shocking is the reaction of certain news outlets. Leaked video footage from TMZ headquarters shows staff laughing as they announce Charlie's death, and they aren't alone. Since the incident, thousands of memes mocking the tragedy have been posted online, with some people even going so far as to say he deserved it.
Shock in the US after a prominent right-wing activist, Charlie Kirk, was dead while addressing students on a campus in Utah. Video footage showed Mr. Kirk, a close ally of Donald Trump, speaking and then slumping down in his seat.
On September 10, 2025, during a debate event on his American comeback tour, Charlie Kirk was shot to death at Utah Valley University in Orem. Minutes later, a person believed to be the shooter was taken into custody. Allegedly, immediately after the arrest, this man yelled, "And I'll do it again." The FBI later released the suspect after discovering that the real assailant had escaped through the roof during the commotion. A little more than an hour after Charlie's death, Donald Trump posted on Truth Social confirming the news. A close personal friend of Charlie Kirk, Trump wrote, "The great and even legendary Charlie Kirk is dead. No one understood or had the heart of the youth in the United States of America better than Charlie. He was loved and admired by all, especially by me, and he is now no longer with us. Melania and my sympathies go out to his beautiful wife, Erica, and family. Charlie, we love you." Soon after, photos emerged of a SWAT team moving from building to building, trying to track down the real shooter. Trump also posted a video tribute on his social media addressing the tragedy. Allegedly, this video was AI generated and, according to some viewers, disrespectful. One user on X wrote, "It should be a major deal that the White House posted an AI video of Trump's Oval Office speech. How much of it was AI? All of it? Was he even in the room?" Another added, "The fact that Trump posted a clearly AI video tribute is hilarious, and the fact that the media hasn't called this out is alarming."
Donald Trump, a close personal friend of Charlie Kirk, made the announcement on his Truth Social account just a few minutes ago. I want to read you what he wrote. He said, "The great and even legendary Charlie Kirk is dead. No one understood or had the heart of the youth in the United States of America better than Charlie. He was loved and admired by all, especially by me, and he is now no longer with us. Melania and my sympathies go out to his beautiful wife, Erica, and family. Charlie, we love you." Now, we are just seeing pictures come in from the scene of a SWAT team moving from building to building, trying to track down the alleged gunman.
During the 9/11 ceremony yesterday at the Pentagon, Trump announced that Charlie Kirk will be posthumously honored with the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the nation's highest civilian award.
Fellow Americans, I am filled with grief and anger at the heinous of Charlie Kirk on a college campus in Utah. Charlie inspired millions, and tonight all who knew him and loved him are united in shock and horror. Charlie was a patriot who devoted his life to the cause of open debate and the country that he loved so much, the United States of America. He fought for liberty, democracy, justice, and the American people. He's a martyr for truth and freedom, and there's never been anyone who was so respected by youth. Charlie was also a man of deep, deep faith, and we take comfort in the knowledge that he is now at peace with God in heaven. Our prayers are with his wife, Erica, the two young, beloved children, and his entire family, who he loved more than anything in the world. We ask God to watch over them in this terrible hour of heartache and pain. This is a dark moment for America. Charlie Kirk traveled the nation, joyfully engaging with everyone interested in good faith debate. His mission was to bring young people into the political process, which he did better than anybody ever to share his love of country and to spread the simple words of common sense. On campuses nationwide, he championed his ideas with courage, logic, humor, and grace. It's a long past time for all Americans and the media to confront the fact that violence and murder are the tragic consequence of demonizing those with whom you disagree day after day, year after year, in the most hateful and despicable way possible.
One of the first media outlets to report on Charlie Kirk's death was TMZ. Within minutes, they had footage of the incident. However, the way they presented the news was bizarre. TMZ employees were heard cheering, clapping, and celebrating just 30 seconds before announcing Charlie's death. They laughed and applauded before handing the report off to Harvey Levin.
Before we begin, let me express the horror and grief so many Americans at the heinous Charlie Kirk have felt. Charlie was a giant of his generation, a champion of liberty, and an inspiration to millions and millions of people. Our prayers are with his wonderful wife, Eric, and his beautiful children. Fantastic people they are. We miss him greatly, yet I have no doubt that Charlie's voice and the courage he put into the hearts of countless people, especially young people, will live on. I'm pleased to announce that I will soon be awarding Charlie Kirk posthumously the Presidential Medal of Freedom. The date of the ceremony will be announced, and I can only guarantee you one thing, that we will have a very big crowd. Very, very big.
TMZ later responded to these allegations, claiming it was simply bad timing. They said employees were cheering about a car chase happening at the same time Charlie Kirk's death was reported. However, police records make it clear that no car chase occurred at that time.
Janet, go to, have somebody look at the Fox. Trump just posted that Charlie Kirk is dead.
All right, so is this ready to pull the trigger? We can get Trump cut in a second.
TMZ isn't the only one under fire for its response to Charlie Kirk's death. MSNBC fired Matthew Dow after he went live and said that whatever happened to Charlie was his own fault. Just last month, the creators of South Park ridiculed Charlie Kirk after Charlie was fatally shot while speaking at a college event yesterday. Some MAGA supporters began pointing the finger at South Park creators Trey Parker and Matt Stone, alleging they helped fuel the hatred that led to the conservative influencer's death. The second episode of season 27, titled Got a Nut, originally aired August 6th and immediately drew attention for lampooning Kirk's college speaking style. In the episode, one of the show's iconic characters, Eric Cartman, parodied Kirk adopting his mannerisms during a satirical college debate podcast while sporting Kirk's trademark hairstyle and look. The lampoon climaxed with Cartman receiving the Charlie Kirk Award for Young Master Debaters. Days after the episode aired, Kirk himself laughed off the mockery.
We were live streaming all day during this tragedy when something happened in our office. As we were reporting of Charlie Kirk, there were some people in the back room away from our news desk here who were watching a car chase, and they were laughing, they were clapping, and you could hear it out here. And we want to make a couple of things clear. One is that I know these people, and they were not laughing, they were not reacting that way about Charlie Kirk's. They were not. They would not work here if they did. And that being said, we acknowledge that it was horrible timing. And for that, we are sorry. We apologize. We apologize that you had to hear that.
And I get why if you're watching the stream, you may have felt that that's what the laughter was about. We assure you it was not about that, but it was horrible timing. And
by the way, I get it too, and he gets it because we listened as we were talking.
You can go back and look on the stream. I actually walked off camera to go back and find out what the hell was going on, because it was inappropriate for the laughter at that time. But no one was laughing about the Charlie Kirk tragedy.
Nevertheless, we apologize for the way it sounded.
Kirk even told Fox News at the time that he had grown up watching South Park and considered the parody part of being in the public arena. But after his death, the satire has become a flashpoint as MAGA conservatives online have alleged that Parker and Stone fueled a fire contributing to Kirk's murder. One ex-user posted, "South Park certainly fermented the hatred necessary to get Kirk." Another fumed, "Trey Parker and Matt Stone are responsible for this." A Turning Point USA staffer added on Telegram, "Comedy has consequences. Charlie was targeted in the culture before he was targeted in real life. This incident has left right-wing commentators shocked, with many big-name conservatives like Ben Shapiro canceling upcoming events. Charlie Kirk's company, Turning Point USA, has also canceled all meetings and invited members to unite in grief."
We need the full details of this. We don't know if this was a supporter shooting their gun off in celebration, or so we have no idea about this. But following up with what was just said, he's been one of the most divisive, especially divisive younger figures in this, who is constantly sort of pushing this sort of hate speech or sort of aimed at certain groups. And I always go back to hateful thoughts lead to hateful words, which then lead to hateful actions. And I think that's the environment we're in, that people just, you can't stop with these sort of awful thoughts you have and then saying these awful words and not expect awful actions to take place.
Matt.
And that's the unfortunate environment we're in.
Megyn Kelly, a conservative commentator who works with Turning Point, struggled to hold back tears as she spoke of the loss to Kirk's family and to everyone who engaged with him in political debate. Kelly said she once believed Kirk had the potential to become the President of the United States someday. Speaking to Sky News host Paul Murray, she said, "I always thought that by the time I'm nearing 80, Charlie would either be president or have already completed 2 terms in the White House." Candace Owens also reacted to the news, saying that Charlie was a good friend who was always by her side when she needed him. She posted a video on Twitter saying, "I am completely lost, and I hope I stumble upon the right words for my friend Charlie Kirk."
Okay, everybody, the South Park episode just dropped, and honestly, it is hilarious. I mean, part of it is kind of like whatever, typical humor, but it was hilarious.
Candace Owens, who previously worked with Charlie at Turning Point USA, had her YouTube live stream freeze tonight because more than 115,000 viewers tuned in. Another memorial event happened earlier tonight at Loyola Marymount University, where Fox 11's Laura Diaz was reporting. At Loyola Marymount University, the tragic death of prominent conservative podcaster Charlie Kirk was on the minds of many students this 9/11, Kirk's fatal shooting while fielding. Questions from students at a small university in Utah served as a stark reminder of these politically polarized times. Joe Rogan was live on air at the time. Interviewing Charlie Sheen, Rogan said he could see the hate coming from a mile away and predicted that many people would celebrate the killing.
Grief. In the meantime, more breaking news related to the Kirk appearance by Ben Shapiro at the Reagan Library tonight has been canceled. Shapiro, like Kirk, is a conservative media personality, including on radio here in Southern California. He was set to speak and hold a book signing this event at the library in Simi Valley. Again, it has been postponed in light of the Kirk and will be rescheduled.
Just as Joe Rogan predicted, right after Charlie's death was announced, left-wing media outlets and accounts on Twitter began posting memes mocking him and claiming he got exactly what he deserved. Clips from his speeches were taken out of context and shared to justify the hate. In one video, Charlie can be heard saying that a few deaths a year are worth it to keep policies around. Even Charlie's last words, where he blamed minorities for crime, were used against him.
Oh, good God. Yeah. He's dead. It's official. It's from the COO of Turning Point, who just tweeted out, "Dear Turning Point USA family, it's with a heavy heart that we, the Turning Point USA leadership team, write to notify you that earlier this afternoon, Charlie went to his eternal reward with Jesus Christ in heaven. We're still gathering more information and we'll come to you soon with updates. However, in the meantime, Turning Point USA and Turning Point Action will be closed for business until Monday the 15th, likely longer. If you're in the field or traveling, please cancel everything and return home immediately. All internal, external meetings, etc. are canceled. Please pray. Sincerely, Justin. And then they offer grieving services, counseling services for their team. I am so sorry to be bringing you this news. I am so sorry. I'm sorry for what it means for our country, for Charlie, poor dear Charlie, and his family. Sorry for what it's going to mean for the debates that we have yet to have, that he would have won, he would have put everyone to shame on, as he had been. And I'm angry, really fucking angry about how this happened, why this happened, and why we don't have a person in custody.
It's important to remember that, despite political differences, violence is never the answer. What happened to Charlie is a tragedy that should never be repeated. Charlie Kirk's wife and daughter were at the university with him, and it's heartbreaking that a young girl had to watch her father die this way.
But I don't want today to be about anything other than you guys knowing that Charlie really was an amazing person. You know, he was like, we were really close. And he was my best friend and my brother. And I will never unsee the footage of what I saw.
Charlie Kirk was married with 2 young children. His wife, Erica, was the former Miss Arizona in the 2012 Miss USA pageant. That means the 2012 Miss Arizona USA title went to Erica Fraun, who later became Erica Kirk. The FBI has launched an investigation into the shooting and is offering a $100,000 reward for any information.
Candace Owens, who previously worked with Charlie Kirk at Turning Point USA, had her YouTube live stream freeze tonight because more than 115,000 viewers tuned in.
Well, memorials for Charlie Kirk are going on across the U.S., this one outside Turning Point's headquarters in Phoenix, Arizona.
Another happened earlier tonight at Loyola Marymount University. That's where Fox 11's Laura Diaz was.
I just think it's pretty scary, you know? I mean, he was touring college campuses. I'm pretty sure it was his first tour of the season he was doing, and it's just pretty scary.
Kirk was a fixture on Fox and Friends. In a sweet backstage moment, his daughter ran into his arms. Kirk was a huge, but often controversial star on college campuses, famous for debating students who disagreed with him.
This just happened. We just found out that Charlie Kirk got...
It's awful.
And is he dead?
No, I don't think so.
That's what was just...
One of the guys out there just said, confirmed that he's dead.
In the lobby was just...
I've been looking. I haven't seen anything that said confirmed.
Whoa.
For having a different opinion from somebody else.
Yeah.
Different ideology from somebody else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Beliefs that didn't align.
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
Dead.
Yeah.
Rest in peace. Jesus. 27 years old, maybe? 30?
Do they even have a suspect?
I don't know. Well, that's why I'm literally trying to track it all on Twitter, and it's all...
Nobody deserves it. He doesn't deserve that. Nobody deserves that.
Senator Bernie Sanders and Dean Withers, both longtime rivals of Charlie Kirk, also came to his defense and spoke out against the violence. According to Dean, violence is never the answer. At this point, it's not about left or right, it's about right and wrong. You can't harm people you don't agree with. Shockingly, Dean was attacked online for crying over Charlie's death and had to justify his tears.
I think it's worth it. I think it's worth to have a cost of, unfortunately, some every single year so that we can have the Second Amendment to protect our other God-given rights. That is a prudent deal.
I feel your pain. Instead, it is to say you're actually not in pain. So let's just very short clip. Bill Clinton in the 1990s, it was all about empathy and sympathy. I can't stand the word empathy, actually. I think
Empathy is a made-up New Age term that it does a lot of damage, but it is very effective when it comes to politics. Sympathy I prefer more than empathy. That's a separate...
He appeared on the very first episode of California Governor Gavin Newsom's podcast.
But tonight, many in Arizona are remembering Charlie Kirk.
That's right. So many people have shown up to the mortuary to pay their respects. That is where we find 12 News journalist Bianca Bono live right now. And Bianca, what are you seeing there right now?
Well, prior to Charlie Kirk's body arriving here at this mortuary, Vice President J.D. Vance and his wife flew to Utah today to grieve with Charlie Kirk's family and friends. Then, after helping carry Kirk's casket onto Air Force Two, they flew here to Phoenix.
I think it's just horrific, and I hope something like this never happens.
Supporters of Charlie Kirk emotional as they watched the skies at Sky Harbor, waiting for Air Force Two to touch down.
We can have civilized conversations with Republicans and with Democrats without fighting, and Charlie showed the world that. And I hope that we can get there again.
Charlie Kirk was married with 2 young children. His wife, Erica, was the former Miss Arizona in the 2012 Miss USA pageant.
That means your new Miss Arizona USA 2012 is Erica Franzwey.
Charlie Kirk and Erica had their first date here at Bill's Bar and Burger in New York City 7 years ago. 2 years later, Kirk popped the question. He's told his millions of followers that the most important thing in life was getting married and having kids. Kirk was a fixture on Fox and Friends. In a sweet moment backstage, his daughter ran into his arms. Kirk was a huge but controversial star on college campuses, famous for debating students who disagreed with him.
Hello, what's your name?
Alize.
Nice to meet you.
He was on the first episode of California Governor Gavin Newsom's podcast.
Literally last night, trying to put my son to bed. He's like, no, Dad, what time? What time's Charlie gonna be here? What time? You are making a damn dent.
Thank you.
In many ways, Charlie Kirk was the heartbeat and the brainwave of young conservatives. He was really the driving force. If there was a personality.
The FBI has launched an investigation into the shooting and is offering a $100,000 reward for any information on the suspect.
Thank you very much for joining me. I want to say a few words regarding the terrible murder yesterday of Charlie Kirk, someone who I strongly disagreed with on almost every issue, but who was clearly a very smart and effective communicator and organizer, and someone unafraid to get out into the world and engage the public. My condolences go out to his wife and his family. A free and democratic society, which is what America is supposed to be about, depends upon the basic premise that people can speak out, organize, and take part in public life without fear, without worrying that they might be injured or humiliated for expressing their political views. In fact, that is the essence of what freedom is about and what democracy is about. You have a point of view?
One tweet about the incident said, a proof vest could not have saved Charlie Kirk. He was shot in the neck.
Argue it out.
The security he had did not save or protect him. Even if he had one, it wouldn't have mattered because the shot reportedly came from a sniper 200 yards away. The only thing that could have helped Charlie Kirk was stronger regulation, an idea that he and his peers were vehemently against.
And I want as many people as possible to participate in that process without fear.
Charlie Kirk is dead. He got shot at an event that he was hosting in Utah. And I am sad, distraught. In fact, I just cried on my live stream in front of 250,000 people. My goal in this video is to tell you why I feel this way. If you want to end violence, it is something that you can never celebrate. It is always disgusting, always vile, and always abhorrent. It should come as no shock to yourself when I tell you that I think Charlie Kirk was a bad person. I've made that very clear over the last year, but does that mean I think he deserves to lose his life? No. Does that mean I think his 2 young children, who were in attendance at the event where he was, deserve to watch their father die? No. Does that mean I think they deserve to grow up without him? No. Does that mean I think that his wife, who was also there, deserved to lose her husband? No. And honestly, if you answered yes to any of those questions, there's a very clear line drawn between me and you. I don't want your support, and I don't support you either. We as a collective need to end And if that phrase is negotiable for you,
the FBI has launched an investigation into the and is offering $100,000 for any information on the suspect.
We have some updates in the incident that happened with Charlie Kirk, and then the FBI have now released photos of a man that they believe is the suspect. The police say that they do have good video footage of this suspect, and they believe that he is somebody that could potentially be a college student because they say he blended in very well. And this is just my opinion, but I do not feel like this man is a college student. I feel like he looks and appears to be in his mid-30s, and that's just an opinion. And I also felt like this because I feel like whoever did this had to have some type of skill to get him from 200 yards away with a sniper. This man was caught on video going up the stairwell on the roof where we know the person did fire those. As you can see, here's the suspect running on the roof away after the incident occurred. Now, the police are saying they weren't able to track his movements. He jumped off the roof and then he ran into a neighborhood that was right off campus. Police say in a nearby wooded area, they found a high-powered bolt-action rifle, and they believe that this was the was used to take out Charlie Kirk. They're also stating that they got a footwear impression, they also got a handprint impression, and a forearm impression that they are trying to analyze. Before police put out this photo of this person, they said that they were using some AI technology to try to identify the person in the video where they got this photo from, so I assume it probably wasn't that helpful, and this is why we are now seeing the photo of this person and they're asking for any tips. But so far, this is the only updates that we have.
Vice President J.D. Vance canceled all of his Memorial Day plans and personally accompanied Charlie's body on Air Force. 2. Melania Trump posted a heartfelt message on X. Charlie's children will be raised with stories instead of memories, photographs instead of laughter, and silence where their father's voice should have echoed. Charlie Kirk's life should serve as a symbolic reminder that compassionate awareness elevates family, love, and country. She emphasized that Charlie was not just a public figure, but a husband and father. We often put these people on a pedestal, she said. But first of all, he wasn't even a politician. He was a dad trying to mobilize young people. When you put it that way, you realize these people have feelings and families, and a young dad was robbed of memories with his children. The vice president, who was very close to Charlie Kirk, added on X. When I became the VP nominee, something Charlie advocated for both publicly and privately, Charlie was there for me. I was excited to join the president's team, but I was surprised by the effect it had on our family. Our oldest especially struggled with the constant attention and protective detail. I felt an acute sense of guilt that I had conscripted my kids into this life without their permission. Charlie was constantly calling and texting, checking on our family and offering guidance and prayer. Some of our most successful events were organized not by the campaign, but by Turning Point USA. He wasn't just a thinker, he was a doer, turning big ideas into bigger events with thousands of activists. After every event, he would give me a big hug, tell me he was praying for me, and ask what he could do next. You focus on Wisconsin, he'd tell me. Arizona is in the bag, and it was.
Hi everybody, thank you for being here today. My name is Hillary Kellner. I am the Communications Director for the Utah Department of Public Safety. This evening we have FBI Director Patel, FBI Deputy Director Dan Bongino, Special Agent in Charge Robert Bowles, Governor Spencer Cox, Lieutenant Governor Deidre Henderson, and Commissioner Anderson, as well as, Commissioner Bo Mason, as well as some local partners here present with us today. Governor will kick it off. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here tonight. We appreciate the media and the partnership we have with you in helping us to get information out to the public so that we can catch this and hold him accountable. We are going to share a portion of a video and that we have of the suspect, as well as some new stills. Those have already been released, but we want to make sure that they get as much attention as possible so that we can get help from the public in tracking down this evil human being. So we're going to cue up the video right now. Show that. I've asked Commissioner Bo Mason if he would narrate to you what is happening in this video.
Vice President J.D. Vance canceled all of his Memorial Day plans and personally accompanied Charlie's body on Air Force 2.
So Melania Trump
she put out a beautiful post reminding us of what is lost here. This was on X. She said Charlie's children will be raised with stories instead of memories, photographs instead of laughter, and silence where their father's voice should have echoed. Charlie Kirk's life should serve as a symbolic reminder that compassionate awareness elevates family, love, and country.
And you know that what it does, if you don't mind me just saying this, Lawrence, she also had, after the Butler assassination attempt, she wasn't talking about a president. He was talking about he's a father and a husband. So we almost lost a father. Like, she humanizes it with the family and not with titles.
Because he was a human being. And I think that's what the First Lady, I think we look at these politicians, you put them on a pedestal and these people, first of all, he wasn't even a politician. He was a dad trying to mobilize young people. And when you put it that way, these people have feelings. They have families. And you just robbed a young dad of those memories with his children. The Vice President of the United States, who was very close to Charlie Kirk, had this to say on X. When I became the VP nominee, something Charlie advocated for both in public and private, Charlie was there for me. I was so glad to be a part of the president's team, but candidly surprised by the effect it had on our family. Our kids, especially our oldest, struggled with the attention and the constant presence of protective detail. I felt this acute sense of guilt that I had conscripted my kids into this life without getting their permission. And Charlie was constantly calling and texting, checking on our family and offering guidance and prayer. Some of our most successful events were organized not by the campaign, but by Turning Point USA. He wasn't just a thinker, he was a doer, turning big ideas into bigger events with thousands of activists. And after every event, he would give me a big hug, tell me he was praying for me, and ask me what he could do. You focus on Wisconsin, he'll tell me. Arizona is in the bag, and it was.
While people may strongly disagree on ideas, no disagreement should ever lead to harm. Friends, family, and supporters continue to honor Charlie's memory. And this is a moment for all of us to reflect on what's happening in our country. If you want to stay updated on this story and other important news, subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications.